it takes them that long to do so. Now, some of us get a little confused or concerned when it comes to these updates. A lot of us think that it's instantaneous, especially in this microwave world that we live in. We can get things instantly. You can use the internet. You can make a payment somewhere, and you can go to your account or your bank account or the account with the company that you made your payment, and you can actually see that they have received a payment and think that the credit bureaus run like that. They do not run like that. So they don't update immediately, and they don't do it just for you. So the credit bureaus are updating officially once a month. And we get confused a little bit because now we have all these places out here where you can get your credit score often, and they say they'll update in 7 days. They'll update in 14 days, things of that nature. And they may do that on those particular sites. But you got to remember that FICO is the main place to get your credit score, and they update once a month. FICO updates once a month, and 90% of lenders. So 9 out of the 10 banks that you pass on your way to work are going to be using FICO when they're evaluating your credit and your credit score. So those are a couple of things right there that we need to make sure that you're aware of when it comes to how long is it going to take to for your credit score to pop or change or what have you to have it restored. All right, so look, we're already at the halfway point of the show. So let's do this. I'm going to do a couple more shout outs, and I'm going to do the question of the day, and then we're going to finish this show out. All right, so let me give this shout out. Another relative, my cousin Blake Owens. Blake is celebrating his birthday later this week, I think it is. So I want to say happy birthday to my cousin Blake Owens. I got to say happy birthday to Nora King. Yes. Yet another king. We got a lot of kings actually in this particular area and a lot of family members. So yes, Sonora King actually. She's going to be celebrating her birthday on the 19th of this month. So that's Tuesday. So happy birthday to you, cuz. I got to give a shout out to Donna Broadnax. She's going to be celebrating her birthday as well. So happy birthday to you, Donna Broadnax. All right. So let me get to the question of the day right quick. And let me get to the question of the day. And it actually fits really good, actually, with the show for today. Kind of, telling you what's going on and how long it takes to restore your credit a little bit. So this question actually comes from Elvis. Now, I don't remember where Elvis is from because we spoke a year or so ago. I don't remember where he's from. I didn't let him know I was going to use this question for the show. I usually do. So, look, if you've got questions, do like Elvis did and email me. He emailed me 800@creditscoreman.com. Email me there. Ask your questions. I'll respond to you, and you may become part of the show. So, since his name happens to be Elvis, and I don't know where he's from, we're going to make him from Tennessee. Makes sense to me, so that's what we're going to do. So, Elvis said, hey, you helped me out about a year ago. I've increased my credit score from 610 to 748 thanks to some of the things that you said. So, first of all, Elvis, that's what's up. Good job. Man, you went from 610. You talking that's poor credit. So bad credit is 600 or less. He had a 610, almost bad in the poor range, and now he's at 748, and it's been a year. So since we're talking about how long does it take you to restore your credit, look at how long it took him. But it's been a year. Per Elvis, it's been a year, but he's almost at excellent. 610 to 748 is a big deal. I don't care what you see on the internet about the people talking about, raise the score 116 points in a month or what have you. Absolutely, some of that could be done, but it's not all the same. And maybe I'll be able to explain that later on. So anyway, so Elvis has moved his credit score up. And if you want the same help Elvis got, you contact me. Become a client, 800@creditscoreman.com. I will absolutely help you out, the 800 Credit Score Man, or call me, 312-600-5855. All right, so Elvis was wondering how long a closed or late account takes to come off of your credit report. So he was wondering how long will it stay on his credit report. And so then he went on to explain, though, that he had like 5 student loans and they were like 90 days late back in 2012. So 2012, that was 7 years ago at this point. And he did say, it was like September 2012 when that happened. Those accounts were closed or paid off or refinanced or whatever by November of 2012. So he was asking when did I think that they would come off his credit report. So here's what happens with closed and late accounts. Good accounts for you stay on your credit report for 10 years. They stay on your credit report for 10 years. Bad accounts or things that went negative for you will stay on your credit report for 7 years. So we get a break. We absolutely get a break from that because the bad account leaves earlier than, the good accounts do. And the good accounts are helping with your credit score. They're helping your score go up. So in this particular case, I don't necessarily know if this would be deemed a bad account. Because yes, he was 90 days late at some point. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a perfect account to be considered a good account for him. So say it was since it was a student loan. Say it was a 12-year account. Took him 12 years to pay it off or 10 years to pay it off. And he was 90 days late just one time. Within this particular account. So then that basically means it's probably got about a 98% payment on time history with this account, if not 99%. It's probably deemed good by the credit bureaus, and it may stay on this credit report for 10 years. It is helping him out. But here's what I told him in addition to that. What I told him is he'll find out real soon. So if they deem it a bad account, necessarily, if they deem it a bad account, and typically a bad account is something that's been charged off, they never did collect from you, they had to send to collections, that's a bad account. That's considered a bad account, typically. So within this one, it's kind of a gray area. It doesn't have to be perfect to be a good account for you. So I told him he'd find out really soon. So since this happened and it was closed in November of 2012, 7 years will be November of 2019. So later on this year, if he sees that come off of his account, his credit file in December, is what I told him, in December of 2019, then he'll know that they deemed it a bad account. And if they deemed it a bad account, then it's coming off. Then it's going to come off his credit report, and it'll be off his credit report by the end of the year. But I actually think that it's deemed a good account, especially if he didn't have a bunch of late payments and whatnot. It didn't go to some kind of collections. The government did have to take it over and try to collect on them and things of that nature. I think they deemed it a good account, and it'll stay on his credit report till 2022. And it'll be helpful for his credit report and his credit score, and he's already at a 748. Taking that off is not necessarily going to push him over the edge, if you will. And the closer you get to 800, then the harder it is to get more points. But I'm sure he can do that. We didn't discuss anything else, any other 5 pillars or anything like that. We didn't discuss anything. I just simply answered his question. So Elvis from Tennessee, thank you very much for contacting me. I appreciate it. And, I'm glad that you let me know that the work that we talked about and the things that you did helped increase your credit score. You can have similar results. You need to contact me. Contact me 800@creditscoreman.com. Let's put you on the right track to get your credit restored the right way. All right, Elvis, you're officially part of the 800 Credit Score Man Show family. Thank you very much for contacting me. All right, y'all, let me do a couple of more shout outs and then we're going to finish off the show. So, Sanika Johnson celebrates a birthday. I think Sanika's birthday is today. So happy birthday to you, Sanika, an actress extraordinaire in herself. And Herb Kimball celebrates his birthday as well. So happy birthday to you, to Herb Kimball, one of my frat brothers. So yo to you, Herb. All right, you guys. So before I finish out, let me announce something else. So the Economic Development Summit in Gary, Indiana on April the 6th. I'm going to be there speaking. So you guys come out. Northwest Indiana, you come out. If you're in the burbs, the southern burbs of Chicago, come out. If you're downtown Chicago, south side Chicago, if you want to come up from Indianapolis or over from South Bend, come check out the Economic Summit, Economic Development Summit in Gary on April the 6th. You can register at Eventbrite. So go to Eventbrite and search for Aspire, Aspire, Aspire Economics, and you'll find it there. And follow me on all the social media. I've been blasting it, and I'll blast it more. I'll blast the flyer even more as the time comes for this particular economic summit. It'll be a morning session. I'm gonna speak twice. So if you missed my first one, which I think is probably at 10, then you can catch me at 11. So you can come out and check me out there. But then it's also going to be people there talking about your finances, retirement, and all kinds of savings programs, and then also insurance as well. So you guys come out, and that's just part of what I know. And children can come too. There's going to be daycare for little kids, and Junior Achievement will be there talking to some of the other kids as well about economic empowerment, bank accounts, and what to do, and maybe even they're talking about credit over at Junior Achievement as well. So you guys come out. It's a huge event sponsored by St. John Church. So you guys come check that out on April the 6th, 6 days before my birthday. So I think I'm going to go ahead and celebrate pretty much all month, the month of April. So you guys come check it out. Who knows what's going to happen after the summit. All right, so let's jump back into how long it's going to take you. So let's talk about if you have collections. So if you have some collections, it depends on how soon you can address them. So if you're paying them off, if you're paying off your collections, I've told you guys how to do that, if you should do that, and all those things in several different shows. And I might revisit and revamp my show called Collections, How to Handle Them. You guys go check that one out if you've got collections, you've got questions on how to do it. I might redo that particular show. Not much has changed, but it probably needs to update. That show was probably one of the first 10 shows I've done on the 800 Credit Score Man show, and we're sitting at, I think this show is number 116. So, it's a little dated, but yeah, I think I'm probably going to revisit the collections portion. But yeah, so it depends on what you're going to do with them. How are you going to address them? Are you going to pay them off? Are you going to negotiate with whoever you owe money to, or the collection agency, when you're going to do that? If you listen at all, I have a strategy behind collections and how we do them. Just because you came into some money today doesn't mean we're necessarily going to call and take care of that collection today. That's just not how we're going to do it as a strategy if you're one of my clients. So what we do is we wait until the end of a quarter, sometime the end of the month. If that money is going to burn a hole in your pocket and it's February, and maybe we need to go ahead and pay that collection off, or start negotiating on it in February. Ideally, I like to wait till March. It's March now, so this is March. This month, if you got a collection and you're thinking about paying it, you're thinking about using your tax return or whatever to maybe get rid of some of those kinds of bills or whatever, then you're going to want to do that. You want to do it this month. It's the 16th today, so it's basically 2 weeks left. I wouldn't give them a call until the 21st, maybe the 22nd. Maybe the 22nd and the 25th wouldn't hurt at all. And that's Monday the 25th. And basically you got till Friday for them to come back and say, hey, yeah, we'll take this deal that you're offering us, or reject it out of hand. And, you move on to do whatever you want to do. All right. So look, again, it's just going to depend on how long you're going to be able to do that. And you got to know, once you make that, declaration with them, or that agreement with them, then they've got to receive payment. They've got to contact the credit bureaus, and they're going to do all three, hopefully. They're going to contact the credit bureaus and let them know that the debt has been paid, or it's been settled, or they need to remove it. That's going to take an additional 30 to 45 days. So if we talked about this collection and you're one of my clients, you became a client in January. Let's say you became a client in January. We waited, until March to get this done. So that's 3 months, right? And we waited till March so we can get the best deal possible. We waited till March, and then it impacts it goes on to the credit bureaus, since you were at the end of the month. It rolls over to April, and then you got another maybe 30 days for them to actually update your score in regards to that. So it could be May. That's 5 months. So that's kind of the things that happen. when it comes to your credit report and your credit scores, those are the kind of things that happen. So it's difficult to say how long, and I've really only been